Do you really think that things are going to get better?
This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
Do we even know what better means anymore?
Okay, guys, apparently this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
70% of all animals have died in the last 100 years. Our planet is being bled to death. And for what? The latest dopamine hit that comes in a plastic package or through your phone? What gives us the right to seek momentary pleasure at the expense of all of life? We know our politics is broken, no matter how hard we've been trying to salvage it. We know capitalism will not fix anything else, but we ignore the fact that it makes everything about numbers. A million prophets, wise men, and showmen make their case on social media that we should follow them. Deep down, we know that most of them are liars. Artificial intelligence will overcome our mental processing power, and we all know it. We all feel that change is coming, and these band-aids are no longer working. What will you put your faith in? Will you give in to distraction? Will you live a role that society gives you, following it into the abyss? Or will you stay true to the earth? In order to understand what's happening, where it all went wrong, and what we can do about it, we need to go back to the beginning. No. Further. Further. You are here. Don't believe me? Just wait around. Do you see a break in reality? An interference? A hierarchy? Like a fetus in the womb, within the first stars of the universe, the elements that make up you are being grown. These atoms don't just begin. They aren't just happenstance. They are and will always be you, us, everyone. These stars are dead, and without them, we would have no planets, no solar systems, no life. Their story was billions of years long. Were they important? If we can say anything is important today in our short lives, isn't everything that allowed that to happen just as, if not more important than us here and now? How lucky we are to be here. But not because we don't belong. Don't you see how connected it all is? That the line is completely unbroken? It's magic. It's violent, calm, self-correcting, unbiased. In all its creation and destruction came us. And who are we? From the first animal hunt to the great sea voyage, everything begins with the stories we tell ourselves. We went from reacting to nature to forging the future. We tell myths, create religions. But why? We often think this is to explain the past, where we come from. But why do we need that? What kind of creatures does it make us that we need to feel like we know where we come from? The truth is, we did this in order to give us the confidence to act and shape the future. The stories we tell ourselves about who we are and where we come from are really just a reflection of our desire to shape the future. Our story defines us, and we, now defined, cast the future in that image. Just look at all of humanity's greatest accomplishments and worst mistakes. From impossible odds to certain death, we've risked it all again and again, and there isn't just one story to tell. So how have we come to tell ourselves the one that we do? We often think that it is powerful men or devastating weapons that turn the tide of history. But the truth is that those who told us the story for the future generations were the ones who really held the power. Think about it. There were many great civilizations in antiquity. The Egyptians had great religions and architecture. The Phoenicians, who later became the Carthaginians, created the alphabet that led to ours and began our tradition of trade and exploration. And the Celts and Germans had rich mythology and tradition. And who could forget the Persians, the creators of the concept of good and evil and the modern governing system? Yet with all of this, the West claims its roots in Greece. Why? Because Homer's Iliad and Odyssey have inspired everything from military campaigns to personal heroism ever since. and its philosophers narrated existence in a way that gave us power and purpose. The modern hero is still Homer's hero. The modern democracies are an extension of the experiment of Athens, and our entire history is built on telling a story. From the Crusades and the Third Reich to the Enlightenment and modern scientific discovery, this has been just as bad as it is good. The power of the story has not just been our tool, it has been our master. It was pagan gods, then it was the eternal city, then the one eternal God, then the human mind, and now it is science and technology. The stories we tell and accept without question build the house we live and set the rules for our entire lives. The problem is, what story will we tell now? We've been defining ourselves in terms of the ability to use reason and achieve technological progress. In the 1950s, we thought science and technology would end hunger and bring peace and freedom to the world. All we had to do was let them compete and progress unhindered within a free market. We were wrong. With social media destroying mental health and our inability to quench our thirst for disposable nonsense consumer goods, technology has reached a point where it isn't always good to have more. Manifest destiny, entrepreneurial spirit, national pride, all stories made up by rich men smoking pipes and trying to galvanize a country into doing what they want. But now these stories use us instead of the other way around. Some have tried looking to the past for some meaning and identity, but it only makes things worse. What we need to do is relearn what it means to be human, to discover original creativity. Being yourself means not being anything else. It's just that simple. Stop using groups and causes to define you before you even know who you are. AI is about to take over most of our labor jobs. How will we define ourselves when so much is gone? This all sounds bad, but it's really an opportunity, and this is where philosophy can do something nothing else can. Man has always sought meaning, and so far, we have been able to use war, expansion, discovery, and religion to build something stable. But with all of this slipping through our fingers, where will we turn now? Are you strong enough to move forward into this new dawn? Or will you give up your freedom for a little distraction? The choice is yours, and no less than the entire world depends on you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel for more. It helps us immensely. Visit the link in the comments to see how you can become a member of our community and support the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.